guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email I was sent from a subscriber. This is my guy. It doesn't say how old he is, but I'm guessing he's probably under 40. And he shares his story about how recently he's learned, unfortunately the hard way, that the M2 movement is sadly still alive and well. And when I say M2, I'm speaking in code here for the new guys here. Think the number 2 and you put the word me in front of it and you can connect the dots. I kid you not, back in 2020, 2021, when I did videos pretty often about the subject, I got flagged, so I had to speak in code. Anyhow, this guy's sharing his story, how recently he unfortunately learned the hard way that this is still alive and well, and you have to be extremely careful what you do in the workplace with gals that you work with, work under, who work under you, that type of thing, and how just so easily one can say a bunch of things, and immediately the guy's the villain, and, well, you probably can understand. Now, you may be thinking, SSM, I don't want to hear a story where the guy gets, well, it's not as bad as you may think. But I'm doing this as a reminder, as a refresher course, if you will, what is still out there. And you have to be careful. And, of course, guys, your job, your career is not worth some pretty girl who you think you might get out on a date or build a relationship with. The job is meant for earning an income, paying the bills, taking care of yourself or your family, building your career, nothing more. Meet girls if you're single outside of the office. I can't stress that enough. And you're going to see this gal here, well, none of you are going to be surprised at her behavior. So it starts off, says here, hello SSM. I'm a big fan of the channel, and like many others, I've watched countless videos but without ever imagining that I'd be a part of one myself. This is not a rant or a complaint, but rather a cautionary tale about the importance of being careful in the workplace and relationships. It's better to be safe than sorry. Amen, brother. In the beginning, it all started with a coworker named Sarah. She joined our team. I was assigned to train her, help her log in, explain work, processes, etc., and even staying an hour or more after my shift to make sure she felt comfortable and understood the job. Okay, so you're training her, you're mentoring her, that type of thing. Oh joy. At first, Sarah was very happy and seemed eager to get along. She was warm, engaging, and playful, constantly joking around, playing with her hair, and making an effort to spend time with me. There were times when she'd get upset if I talked about other women or mentioned someone being attractive. Smack! Why are you talking about other women with a female coworker? Why are you talking about other women being attracted to a female coworker? You're setting yourself up, dude. You can't do this shit. It's not worth it. And of course, this girl's on her best behavior. She just got hired. She wants to gain favor with you to help herself. Look, I gotta say it. At other moments, she would outright flirt with me, even suggesting we smoke together. Her behavior gave me mixed signals, and I found myself wondering if we were just friendly coworkers or if she had other intentions. Well, flip a coin, because guess what? It's not the first time in history that, in the workplace, a woman's attracted to a guy who's higher up than them and is attracted to his position of power, whether she's just attracted to him for that or as a way to help her move up herself. But regardless, it shouldn't matter, because you're in the workplace and you're there to do a job, earn your income, and go home. Meet girls elsewhere, and you'll see. And so your extra help here wasn't just out of the kindness of your heart. I'm sure you were also thinking with your other head here. And as we all well aware, the other head way too many times gets us in trouble, except us dumb idiots always seem to ignore this head. Despite these mixed signals, she remained approachable when it came to work matters. She'd occasionally ask me to stay late to help her, and I would offer my support whenever she needed it. Were you doing the kindness of your heart or the kindness of you want something else? She seemed appreciative, reinforcing the idea that we were on good terms. And now we're about to see the true colors here. I bet a lot of guys watching this may have had an experience like this, where in the beginning everything's great, and then the true colors come out. He says here, as time went on, Sarah started opening up about her life. It's not what you do on the job, guys. She talked about her other jobs, complaining about how everyone at those places hated her. Those places, other jobs. Obviously, Sarah isn't that old, so obviously she goes through jobs pretty quickly. There's a reason for that, obviously. Other people hating her. Guys, you give people enough time, they'll tell you who they are. You just listen. She shared that she found our job due to the issues she had with her previous workplace. Through our conversations, I learned that her supervisor was also her boyfriend, ding, 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 and she still works some shifts at that job. Oh, so she has a history of, flirting with, getting together with her supervisor, her superiors. She seemed proud of how she stood her ground at her past workplaces, framing conflicts as proof of her strength while ignoring the possibility that she might have played a role in causing them. Well, of course, it's not my fault. It was all my coworkers and bosses who were a-holes. Nope, not me. Bro, she's telling you who she is. But you're not listening. You're not listening because you want to nail her. Unfortunately, you're the one who gets nailed. Looking back, I now see this should have been a red flag, but at the time I dismissed it. Now we're getting on to more red flags. He says, so our conversation became more personal as Sarah started venting about sensitive topics like workplace discrimination, OnlyFans, LGBT issues, immigration, relationships, and even her own personal struggles. Smack! Why are you listening to this bullshit? That's a rhetorical question. I know why you're listening to this bullshit. Because of her boobs. You want to get some. You're setting yourself up, dude. On several occasions, she made negative remarks about a particular ethnic group. My own background, actually. Specifically targeting men, saying that we cause trouble and flirt. That's all we do. She's insulting your cultural background? Really? That's a test. Well, she's an asshole, but that's also a test to see how you're going to respond. She's probably thinking, man, I can say anything to this guy and he still is there listening to my bullshit and wanting me. Oh, a newsflash, she knows you like her. She also mentioned that her girlfriend was dating a guy from my ethnic background, adding that while he was good, the rest of us weren't. She would also qualify her comments by saying, I'm not talking about you, but all the other guys from your ethnic background. Okay. Yeah, she's an a-hole and she's testing you. Again, she's probably thinking, I can't believe I can say all these things. This guy's still listening to me. She seemed to have a problem with immigrants, unless they were her boyfriend or her mother, who came from different backgrounds. She also shared how she felt objectified by a colleague and our supervisor. Did you say our supervisor, like where you work? Though when I asked if they had acted inappropriately, she denied it, saying it was just how she felt. Hear that? She can't really lay out anything they did concrete, but it's just how she felt. Because at the end of the day, facts don't matter, only feelings to these types. At the time, I thought everyone experienced issues with their supervisor, so I didn't think much of it. There's one thing if it's like on the, I don't know, what she described as acting inappropriately. It's another thing for supervisors to act like a-holes. And usually supervisors will act like a-holes from time to time. But there's a difference between a supervisor on your butt to do your job, in varying degrees of course, and being inappropriate. Her comments about my ethnic background and her dissatisfaction with others made me feel disrespected and conflicted. Well, notice it's bothering you, but you're not off to HR reporting her. You easily could. Situation was reversed, and you were talking about all those subjects to her, and she didn't like you. Easily she could go off to HR. We all know this. I struggled with whether to confront her or report it, but I chose to give her the benefit of the doubt, assuming she was just venting out of frustration. Well, let's see what happens here. Despite feeling uncomfortable, I continued to listen. Smack, dude. Thinking that she was just venting and not intending harm. She also made inappropriate remarks, like offering me grapes while saying, here are some of my balls, you need them. Well, she's losing respect for you. The comment caught me off guard, but I brushed it off, responding jokingly, thanks, but mine are bigger, in an attempt to diffuse the awkwardness. I didn't report these comments, assuming they were harmless personal frustrations. And why'd you do that? Either because you're nice, or again, you wanted to nail her. The change. Here we go. Here we go from her being his work buddy and him thinking he has a shot with her to seeing her true colors. Things began to shift when another colleague, Tom, joined the team. Over the next few months, Sarah's behavior towards me changed. She became cold, distant, and dismissive. Well, now she's found her footing in your company. She doesn't need you anymore. Casual greetings are met with indifference, and her previously friendly messages turned about abrupt and transactional. She started arriving exactly on time or late without apologies, acting as if our past camaraderie never existed. Hey, who knows? She got her footing there, and now she's more interested in somebody else that's either higher from the company, better looking, whatever. Or who knows, maybe she lost a lot of respect for you by her talking about your ethnic background and you not even acting like everything's okay. I don't know. She's an a-hole, but still. I noticed these changes, but I tried to keep things cordial, assuming she might be dealing with personal issues. I even asked her if she's upset with me, but she denied it. Smack! Why would you ask that? Because now she can say, oh, I'm starting to feel uncomfortable with him, asking me if I'm okay, if I was upset with him. I feel pressured. She's an a-hole, dude, and we're about to see why, but still, you're not helping yourself. Don't be like this, guys. The turning point. He says, the situation took a dramatic turn when I had a work-related issue with Heather. Oh, who's Heather? Don't tell me Heather's another chick that you're staying extra time for after work or coming before work or whatever. When I vented to Sarah about it, dude, really? You're venting to Sarah about another female coworker, you nuts? She filed a formal complaint against me, twisting the situation to make it seem like I had disrespected women. It felt like a calculated move, as if she'd been waiting for the opportunity to take action against me. She never once said she's not comfortable talking to me about this. I could have avoided the whole thing. She bypassed my supervisor and complained to the headquarters. Whoa, that's a whole new level of low. If she went to your supervisor who no doubt knows you, it would have been different. But she bypassed him, went to the headquarters, and headquarters doesn't know you. They don't know you from Adam. All they know is they don't want a headline. They don't want the local media picking up an issue. I was blindsided by this. I thought Sarah was a friend, but she betrayed my trust. During the investigation, I had to disclose everything, including the sensitive conversations I hadn't reported earlier because I had assumed they were harmless. I even told HR that I understood how it looked, that I hadn't raised these concerns earlier, but now, with the complaint filed against me, I felt I had no choice but to explain everything. Yeah. Dude, if she's reporting you and trying to jeopardize your job, your career, you have every right to talk about the shit she was saying. But at the end of the day, you're the guy and she's the gal. What do you think? How do you think this is going to go? At the time, I thought she was just venting, but now I realize I should have been more cautious. As of now, I believe I'll be transferred to a different location, which I don't mind. I can't share all the details yet since the investigation is still ongoing. Now the lessons learned. Now before I go into your lessons learned, and we all know these lessons, so at the end of the day, what happened to her? I can't be the only one wondering this. You're saying you're being transferred to a different location. Well, I'm sure you honestly prefer not to be transferred prior to her showing up. So it sounds, I don't hear about her being transferred. I'm sure if she was fired or transferred, you would have told me. So at the end of the day, look what happened. So before I get into your lessons here, and you have good lessons, bro, you should never have done that. You should never have gone out of your way for her, and I strongly believe you didn't just go out of your way for her because you were kind and wanted to have a good teammate to do the job right, because you probably liked her. And she's not stupid. She knows this. And she took full advantage of it. And then her listening to all her venting about other races and LGBT and OnlyFans and immigration, every other thing under the sun, and her personal problems. Never do that. So, bro, in the future, when you're in a new location, because they're going to be watching you now in the workplace, you dare to do your job. You see, you work with a woman, you be cordial, nothing more, nothing less. Don't listen to their fucking problems. Don't get into their personal lives. And they start talking about shit makes you uncomfortable. You better report them before they report you. It is unfortunate. Now he's going to go to his lessons learned and all that because, again, we're here to learn shit. He says, this experience has taught me some valuable lessons about workplace relationships. Number 1, maintain professional boundaries. Keep personal matters separate from work conversations. Be friendly, but avoid discussing deeply personal and controversial topics. Not rocket science, that's what I said. 2, document interactions. Keep a record of significant workplace interactions, especially when sensitive topics arise in case issues come up later. 3, trust actions, not words. Pay attention to consistent behavior. If someone frequently blames others for problems, it is important to take notice. Yes, I've been telling you this since day one. Actions, not words, guys. Yeah, when she was blaming all those people for losing her job before, really? No, it's because of her. She's trouble. Number 4, report early concerns. If someone makes inappropriate or discriminatory comments, report them immediately to protect yourself and others. You know, it's really sad that you have to basically report to. It's unfortunate that in areas that you don't think is a big deal, but others can see it as a big deal, you're forced to have to say something before they twist it around on you. But it is what it is. 5, be cautious about venting. Avoid venting personal frustrations to colleagues as it can be misinterpreted or used against you. You know, all these things are common sense. Again, as he's learned the hard way here. But you know what, bro? If you're transferred, at least you didn't lose your job. But they're going to be watching out after you. They're going to be watching you. You know, a few years ago, at the height of the M2, I got to still speak in code here, you may have been canned over this, you know? His final thoughts here, he says, people show who they really are through their actions, not just words. Sarah's repeated stories of conflicts where she always cast herself as the victim and blamed others should have been a warning sign. Well, you learned something. Her consistent complaints and negative attitude eventually became evident in our interactions. Looking back, I now realize that trust must be earned through consistent, respectful behavior. If someone repeatedly blames others and stirs up conflict, it's only a matter of time before you become their next target. Exactly, brother. In the end, I've learned this lesson the hard way. I've changed the names and locations in the story to protect privacy, but I hope sharing my experience will help others navigate workplace relationships more cautiously and professionally. There you go, bro. But you know what? You effed up big time, multiple times, but you know what? At least you learned something. I'm happy as of now you weren't canned, because that probably would have happened a few years ago. But you now have learned, and I guarantee you, brother, there's going to be situations that are going to come. You're going to work with other women eventually, and good-looking ones, and you better be careful. You're going to be. It's just how it is. Follow your own advice, which a lot of people don't do. And as for her, probably giving her track record, it's only a matter of time before she's going to get fired. She's going to piss off the wrong person and all that, but there are people like this in the workplace. I've been working for myself for years, so I don't deal with this type of crap. But I remember back in the day, I worked at a couple gyms before I started my personal training business, and let's just say that I saw some crap go on. Yeah, you got to be careful. End of story. And it's so ridiculous. Who are they always going to believe first? We all know this. And don't get me wrong, and I got to say it, that there are some guys that behave in the workplace in the past and the present that truly they should have been canned. And it's led to this whole thing. The problem is now it switches the power dynamic, and good guys that meant nothing get busted. You know? Because at the end of the day, you were listening to all her BS, and you were helping her and all that. Nothing wrong with that. But in a normal world, there'd be nothing wrong with listening to somebody talk about various things. But when it comes to the workplace, And the second you did the same thing, look how she turned it around on you. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let us think about this. Again, guys, this is a refresher to help, a cautionary tale to help guys out. And if you got a story you got to share, guys, definitely email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just be sure to make it easy for me to read. And if it's a good one, I'll cover it. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.